Welcome to the Pretty Smart Show. I'm Jenny Mattern, personal branding expert and stylist for Snappy Casual Consulting.
And I'm Kat Klaus, educational consultant for March Consulting.
And this is the Pretty Smart Show. If you are joining us for the first time, let's tell you a little bit about what the Pretty Smart Show is. So the Pretty Smart Show started for the modern woman who wants to be both. So Kat, tell us a little bit about how Pretty Smart started for you.
Well, Jenny and I went to high school together, and I knew of Jenny in high school. She didn't know about me. I was very bookish, AP straight A student, band, kind of a nerd, a lot of nerd. And I never thought that I could care about my appearance or really take care of myself, because that was something that wasn't encouraged, because you were supposed to be bookish and intellectual, and we're not going to talk about lipstick. That's not what we do.
Not smart.
No, that's not smart. And so it wasn't until my professional years that I realized I was getting treated differently because of the fact that I wasn't taking care of myself and showing what was inside on the outside. So a lot of people would call me kid, or they'd assume that I was a high school or college student, and as a professional, that's not ideal.
What you wanted.
No. So tell me about what Pretty Smart means to you.
So Kat said yes, we went to high school together. What I can say is that without a doubt, I've always put a lot of emphasis on how I looked and how I was perceived by others. For good or for bad, I've spent a lot of time making sure that my appearance was sending the messages that I meant to be sending. However, I consider myself a really smart girl, and I never really felt comfortable in expressing my intelligence, because I thought that if I appeared smart, then I also couldn't be pretty. And the truth is that I valued the pretty over the smart. So around the same time that I was getting into my business career, I've been a teacher for about 10 years and started this business, and realized if I don't start showing the world the inside, my intelligence, then they're not going to take me seriously. So Kat and I got together, and we're comparing notes basically over what it means to be pretty and what it means to be smart, and decided why not be both.
Exactly. It's very important, I think, for the modern woman, because we get a lot in the media for, being intelligent with your career, making these career choices and breaking these glass ceilings and things like that. Well, at the same time, we have all these magazines that are telling us that we have to be perfect and we have to care about our hair and our lipstick and everything else, and it's exhausting.
It's exhausting.
But it is possible to be both. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really important, and that was the message that we wanted to share with women like us, that it's okay to be both.
Women like you. So
yes.
We want to thank you for being here today. And our goal for Pretty Smart will be to show you some things that help you, be pretty. Show you some things to help you be smart. And to be smart, does that sound smart?
Be smart.
To say be smart?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can be smart.
Okay. You can be pretty and smart. So we hope you'll tune in weekly. We're going to be doing some really great things. We have some great sponsors.
Yes.
We are sponsored by Misty Dameron Photography. You can check her out. Check out her website. It's beautiful. Wedding and event photography. She does an amazing job, and we are so grateful to have her as a sponsor. And also
the Women's Speakers Association. Women's Speakers Association. I said that a little fast. The WSA.
WSA.
And it's women speakers that come together that have a message to share. Mm-hmm. There's it's just a great group. So we're really honored to be supported by them and sponsored by them.
Absolutely. So on today's show, we are going to be sharing some tips for helping you get out the door early, or what successful people are doing, the night before and in the morning that maybe you aren't, to help you get out the door faster and better.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We'll also have our March Minute. What were you doing on March Minute today?
We're going to be talking about your elevator pitch, which is how you introduce yourself to at networking events and to people possibly in the elevator.
Ooh, the actual elevator. Good. And then I'll be doing our Hump Day How To. So this Hump Day How To is going to be how to apply bronzer for those who are terrified of bronzer. And that request comes from a Facebook fan who wanted to know how to apply bronzer because she was out of her mind, scared to use it. And I'm going to be using my fair friend over here, Kat Klaus, to apply the bronzer. So I can show you that with dark skin or light skin, bronzer can be for you. So let's get started here today. I started doing some research on what successful people were doing in the mornings. One, because mornings aren't my best time.
Well, we both have toddlers, so that's
Yes.
a little challenging too, getting ready when you're also getting the baby ready.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was doing some research trying to see what are people doing. There's some common things that everybody who is successful is doing. And so we want to share some of those with you today. Here's a big shocker, almost all the things that successful people are doing to be ready in the morning happen the night before. So Kat, tell us a little bit about what you learned about the night before.
Well, I looked at top CEOs to see what they were doing the night before and the morning of, and the best thing that they do is they plan out their day and their intention the night before. So they know exactly what they're doing the night before. They know where they're spending their time, where they're blocking their time, and what their intention is for the day.
So setting intention, that's something that you and I both strongly believe in, is setting your intention for the day. And if you set it the night before, that's a great way. Saying, tomorrow my goal is, or tomorrow, the reason tomorrow's happening for me is, and setting that intention for the day. And everybody who's successful really does set their intention.
Even if you're crazy busy and things are insane, if you can say, this is the one thing that no matter what, I'm going to get done tomorrow.
And if you get that done, you're going to feel really successful throughout your day.
Yes, because you got your one goal for the day done.
Absolutely. So there's some tips on getting those goals done. Some great apps out there, great websites that you can use. There's a couple that we use. The one that I love the most is Focus at Will. And I use Focus at Will because it is a timed set of music that you can set the timer for 30 or 60 minutes, or any time really. And it can help you really focus on goals. So I'm trying to do that the night before, is set 30 minutes pre-bedtime routine, just so I take that 30 minutes to get prepared for the next day. It's got some nice music on it, some relaxing, and when I hear that ding of the timer, I know that it is bedtime. So Focus at Will, the @ symbol Focus at Will, is one of the tools that I use. And what are you using?
I use Evernote.
Okay.
I'm a huge Evernote person.
Okay.
So Evernote is an app. You can take it across all of your devices, your tablet, your computer, and your phone. And it's a way to not only clip things from the internet, like you see an article and you're like, oh, this is a great article, I'd love to see it later. And then you keep up 5 million tabs, like I do on my computer. But it's a way you can clip things to it in a notebook. You can set task lists, which is what I do the night before, is I set my to-do list the night before, and it'll actually remind me the day of, okay, remember you need to do this, this, and this. But then it's also, you can just set, it's like an online Post-it note service.
Okay.
So you can, and instead of having 75 Post-it notes, you can set a Post-it note. If I have it on my phone, if I think of something randomly, I can put it in my phone. When I get to my computer, I log into Evernote, and it's there.
Okay.
So I have a bad habit of writing notes everywhere, and this is a way I can keep them consistent. Like, oh, I had a note for something somewhere at some point, but Evernote keeps me on track. Yeah. So to-do lists, clipping things from the internet, and it's really just a robust app.
Okay. Yeah. So here are some little life hacks for you. I love that word, life hacks. Ever since TED Talks really emerged, hacks has been just the word to use, right? So these are some life hacks that I pulled, just a few things that can help you get out the door faster. So one that this little one over here probably should be using is the setting your alarm earlier for snoozers. So Kat,
I snooze my alarm probably about 5 or 6 times a day.
So if you were that person, the suggestion is that actually instead of hitting your snooze so many times would be to actually set your alarm earlier. So that way when you are snoozing, you still wake up at the same time. So setting your alarm a little earlier. Sleeping in your gym clothes. This is one that someone sent me, was I sleep in my gym clothes so that when I wake up in the morning, there is no question about the fact that I'm going to work out today.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right?
I don't know if I like that, because that means that I actually have to go to the gym.
There's
no excuses.
Yeah, right. No. Well, maybe that's the idea. So these all come from doing it in the shower, brushing your teeth in the shower. It only shaves a few seconds off because you don't have to rinse out your sink and everything afterward that's in there. Double duty products, shampoos that work also as body wash. I apply lotion in the shower, like right when I'm done, just so that way my skin is all still moisturized. You can get it all on really fast. My husband actually steams his clothes in the shower instead of ironing sometimes. He'll hang up a shirt in the shower. When we lived in Brooklyn, we had this really little shower. You could just hang that thing up anywhere, and your clothes would come out perfectly wrinkle free. So that was a really good one. So I came across this product I would like to pimp. It is called Aqua Doodles. Aqua Doodles, water notes, basically. Aqua Doodles. So aquadoodles.com. You can take notes in the shower. So it comes with, it's like $8, and you can put a suction cup on your shower, and it's basically a Post-it note that works. And then you can take it off and tear it and go, and it works in the shower. I don't know how it works exactly, because that doesn't make any sense. Science doesn't say that works, but it does. Okay. Meal prep. Yeah. So morning meal prep, obviously, just like the good old days, packing your lunch the night before is the way to go. But a couple of things that I saw where people were taking their breakfast snacks and leaving them at their destination. So you do this at
Yes.
at the office. Kat you have a little cupboard of.
I have a cupboard of granola bars, applesauce. I have some chips. I have just a whole bunch of snacks because I know for a fact that I'm not going to pack my lunch the night before or snacks, and that that I'm more likely to buy something on the way to work than if I just say, oh, well, I have granola bars or I have applesauce, and make them something that's going to entice you. Yeah, don't be like, I'm going to have my
quinoa smoothie. Maybe like a quinoa smoothie.
Or your, rice cakes. Boy, that's not enticing in the morning.
No.
So have something that you actually like in a cupboard at work so that you can shave a few seconds off and not worry about making unhealthy choices in the morning.
Yeah, and speaking of unhealthy choices. So I was looking at CEOs, producers, gamers, models. Everybody does the same thing. Are you ready what they are? They're all doing the exact same thing. Go to bed earlier, wake up earlier, work out first thing, meditate, eat breakfast. Everybody. So apparently, if you do these things, then you get to be successful.
It's true. And the reason for that is because I know the first thing that I want to do in the morning is check my phone. I want to check my email. I want to see, what's going on. Has anything that, urgent happened? Yeah. That's the first thing I want to do. If you want to be successful, that is not the first thing you
do. Huffington, we saw Arianna Huffington speak of the Huffington Post, and she said that she's not going to let somebody else determine the plan for her day. And by checking her email first thing, she's putting it in somebody else's hand, the direction of her day.
Because it is. One email can completely derail my plan from the night before. So I make a conscious decision not to check my phone. I get everything that I want to get done in the morning. When I go into work, I do not check my email first thing. I review my intention, take a moment to take a deep breath, and then I start my day. Yeah. And I also do not, or I try to not, check my email and Facebook in bed or obsessively throughout the day.
Yeah. That's a hard one. We could spend a whole day on productivity and maybe we should, because productivity, the internet and Facebook is just basically the end all be all killer of productivity. So especially though in that morning right before you're leaving the house, maybe make a plan that you're not going to check that phone. You're not going to check the email until you've completed the 3 or 4 or 5 things that you've set for your intention for the day. Yeah.
Think of Einstein or Newton. They did not have cell phones. They took their moment.
Einstein crazy?
No, he's a genius.
Crazy brilliant. No,
crazy,
I actually think he might have
brilliant. No, well, there is that debate of whether genius is on the borderline between insanity and sanity. So that's another conversation.
Another day. Yes. Okay, good. So let's get started with Pretty Smart. Thanks for joining us. We're going to get started. We are going to jump over to Kat with her March Minute. Great. See you over.
Welcome to today's March Minute. We're going to be talking about how to give an elevator pitch. Now, an elevator pitch is what you're going to say when you're at a networking event and you hear that dreaded word or sentence of, what do you do? Can be really nerve-wracking, right? The elevator pitch originated when you were riding the elevator with the CEO of your company and you wanted to communicate an idea to them. It's short, it's to the point, and because CEOs think that they're very busy, you would want to get it done before you arrive to your destination on the elevator itself.
It's like on Mad Men, right?
It's like on Mad Men. If you were pitching an idea to Don Draper, you would want to do it in the time that it took him to get down to his car in the elevator. Well, to the garage. You get what it means. So there's 3 steps to it. The first step is to introduce yourself. Obviously, you know your name. Hello, I'm Kat Klaus. 2 is to tell them what you do. So I'm an educational consultant for March Consulting. And 3 is meant to spark a conversation. It's the why you do what you do. And that's the hardest part. It's going to require a little bit of practice, a little bit of work, but once you get it down, it's going to spark some great conversations. My why is I help students with the college admissions process and how to figure out what they want to be when they grow up and how to get there. That's what I'm really passionate about. And so when I say my elevator pitch, hi, I'm Kat Klaus. I'm an educational consultant for March Consulting, and I help students with the college admissions process and how to figure out what they want to be when they grow up and how to get there. That usually sparks a conversation with whomever I'm talking with because it gets to the why. It gets down to what I'm actually doing. It's a little bit less dry than the first two. So if you just ended with the first two, you might get, oh, that's interesting. Okay. The third one's kind of like the kicker. So practice it in front of your mirror, write it all down, get it so that it's really natural. That's your elevator pitch. Try it out at a couple of networking events or try it out on your roommate. Thanks. You can find out more information at mymarchconsulting.com or you can reach me on...
Anymore.
I know, I don't know.
Why your roommate? That's all right. You sound good.
Or try it out on your best friend.
Okay,
There you go.
There you go.
Okay, practice it on your best friend. You can also reach me at College March in case you have a roommate. Tweet me about your roommate. I don't know. At College March on Twitter. So thanks. That was your March Minute.
All right, it is time for your Hump Day How To. Now, Hump Day How Tos originated on my YouTube channel, Snappy Casual Consulting. So if you want to go back in time and see all of the Hump Day How Tos, you can check them out there. Just weekly tips on ways to sort of master some tricky makeup and beauty troubles. So this Hump Day How To is on how to apply bronzer, even if you're pale. Pale? Is that mean?
You call me Pacey.
Pasty, I almost said pasty. If you're
It's
a
okay.
fair-skinned friend, this one comes out from one of my Facebook fans that says she's terrified of bronzer. So we are going to show you how. Are you?
Yeah.
Terrified?
Terrified.
Okay, let's teach you how to not be terrified. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right, so bronzer is your friend. Laying out in the sun, bad. Bronzer, good. Okay? It helps you to look more awake, to look healthier. There's a reason that we sort of gravitate towards that glowing, bronze skin, and it's because it does it. It gives off an air of health and youth. So two things that we seem to always be going for, right? All right, so here's some tricks on how to apply bronzer. So bronzer comes in a couple of different methods, more than a couple, but two major, liquid or powder form. Fair enough. So when you are just starting out, I actually suggest you start with the liquid form of bronzer because you can apply it in layers.
Okay.
Don't be scared.
Sounds scary.
Don't be scared.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the trick. You've already got your regular foundation color, right? Mm-hmm. I'm just going to add a couple of drops of bronzer to your regular foundation as a starting point. So you already have makeup on, but I'm going to add a little more, so it's going to get a little crazy in here for a second. All right, so I'm using Bare Skin by Bare Minerals because it's a really light foundation, and it'll be easy for me to mix in. Now, my regular foundation is kind of a bronzer for you, so I'm only going to add one drop of bronzer. Okay. Now, bronzer, you can buy it everywhere. I actually like the Sally Hansen Airbrush Legs bronzer, and I know it's for your legs, but it's really water resistant, and so you don't have to worry about it transferring on your clothes. So I don't know if we can catch that there. Which camera? Hi, cameras. Got some mixing going on here, all right, like a little palette. I always use my hand to make a palette too. So I'm going to use this fancy brush by Bare Minerals, but you can really use a sponge, your hands, whatever you need to do.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm mixing these together to make a slightly darker color than I'm used to.
Okay, you show them too.
Oh yeah, a slightly darker color here. I've mixed the two colors on. Thanks. All right, so I want you to imagine you're laying out in the sun, but tilt your head back.
Okay, without my sunscreen?
Yes, pretend. No, just pretend your sunscreen's on.
Okay.
Just feel the warmth on your skin of where
Okay.
the sun is hitting you.
Okay.
Okay? That's where you apply bronzer.
Okay.
You can feel it, right? Where it would hit you? Okay, good. Not that you should be doing that, but if you were. Okay, all right. So bring your head back to me. So you felt it down the bridge of your nose. You felt it across your forehead, right? You felt it off the tips of your cheeks. Now, this is not contouring. This is bronzing. Two totally different things. So
Okay.
you don't want your methods mixed up, and maybe a little on your chin, right? So that's where you're going to apply the bronzer. And with this one, I'm just going to kind of twirl it in, a little swirl motion here to add some color to your cheeks. And you can. This is the reason this is good is because you can layer it, so you can slowly get darker if you're feeling it. And then I'm always going to add it underneath just so it doesn't make a dramatic turn from, from the bronze.
A big old line across my jaw.
Yeah, good. Okay, so let me see, right? See, so what you can see is it just gives off, go ahead, look right at the camera for me.
Okay, I'll look right at it. Okay.
Good. It gives you a nice warm glow. The fairer your skin, the lighter handed you need to be with your bronzer, but it does just add some warmth to your skin. All right, now I'm going to show you the powder just if you're ready to like go full force. Let's pretend it's a night out or you're getting your photos done and you want to add a little extra, okay?
Okay.
So my favorite bronzer is called Bahama Mama by The Balm. Not The Balm, but The Balm, which I love. Okay, so the reason I love this Bahama Mama is because there's no sparkles in it.
I don't like sparkles.
Well,
I like sparkles.
we love sparkles, but not in our bronzer. Because when it picks up, the mic reflects off, and especially if a light hits you, you're going to look real, it's going to glow instead of warm, okay? So this is a really dark bronzer. Don't be scared. You're going to use any blush brush to apply this. Now, I'm going to go a little heavy-handed for the camera so they can see it, okay? But I promise I'll bring it back out. So you apply bronzer like you apply blush, okay? When this isn't for contouring, this is just for bronzing. You're going to apply it just in the same sweeping motion as you would apply your brush. Now,
is this over my blush?
Well, no. But you already had blush
instead
on.
of blush?
Yeah, it's instead first. Bronzer first. Now, obviously, it's really dark. Hi, camera. You can see how dark this is, but we're going to blend it in.
Okay.
So I did in the same spots that I did before, okay, and then down. Now, this is really much darker. I wanted to let you look, but I'm not going to. Oh, you can look in the mirror behind you if you want to. It's very dark.
Oh, that is dark.
We're not going to leave it there. Okay, so I use one of these puffs. This is called Lumois. And you can get this at wherebeautyneverends.com. I love this, though, because you can just throw it right in the wash, and I use it for blending everything. Okay, so now I'm just going to take it back in. I'm going to get kind of rough on your face for a second. Sorry. Okay.
All the aggression.
Right. Just rub your face right off. Wait, don't smile because I can't believe you.
Sorry.
Okay. Good.
Very serious.
Very
serious business.
Bronzing, it's business time.
Very serious
business time of bronzing. Okay. So by blending it back in, it rubs into your skin. Let me see you. Hi.
Hi.
Hello. Hi. But your face is definitely a shade darker than it was before, and the blending really helps. So those are my tips for bronzing. Don't be scared. Start with adding it to your foundation and just add a little bit of warmth. If you're ready to go further, the powder bronzer is the way to go. Also, this Sally Hansen, I really do use it on my legs, my arms, everything. Anytime that you want to even out your skin tone, it comes in different shades, so check your shade first, and then you can use it. And you can add it to your lotion, add it to your foundation, anytime you need to add a little extra warmth. So that's it for your Hump Day How To. You can check out my YouTube channel for Snappy Casual Consulting, where these are all living already. If you have any requests for Hump Day How-Tos, you can catch me on Facebook at Snappy Casual or email us at info@theprettysmartshow.com. See you in a minute. So thank you so much for joining us today. Today on our show, we gave you some life hacks for the morning. Yeah,
we talked about your elevator pitch and how to rock networking events.
Absolutely. And for my pasty friends out there, we gave you some tips on how to apply bronzer without being terrified.
Hey, I embrace my pastiness.
I know you do.
It's not offensive.
It's not offensive.
Slightly offensive, but
you're pretty.
I am pretty and slightly pasty.
And slightly pasty, and that's okay too.
I'm really pasty.
Good. We'd like to thank our sponsors. Thank you to Misty Dameron Photography. You can check her out at mistydameronphotography.com. And also the Women's Speaker Association. Thank you to the Women's Speaker Association for being a wonderful sponsor. And you can find out more about all of our sponsors and a little bit more about us at theprettysmartshow.com. We are also on Twitter.
We are Pretty Smart Show. At Pretty Smart Show.
Yep.
And you can hashtag us Pretty Smart and hashtag us Be Both.
Be Both. Good. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are just so happy to have you here. We hope that you learned a little about something we really believe in, about being okay to want to be both. So I almost said I'm Kat. I'm not. I'm Jenny.
I'm Kat.
And we encourage you to be both. Thanks for joining us. See you next week.
Bye.